Deep within every human being exists a hidden realm, one that we don't often talk about, but it's always with us, lurking in the shadows, the part of our psyche that we avoid, fear, or even deny. Today we're diving into this mysterious world, a world that holds the key to personal transformation, growth, and ultimately, your deepest understanding of who you truly are. What is this shadow? What role does it play in our lives, and why do we fear it so much? Today, we uncover the truth about the dark side of your mind, your shadow self. Get ready to embark on a journey that will challenge everything you thought you knew about yourself. You may never look at your mind the same way again. The shadow self, a term coined by the famous psychologist Carl Jung, refers to the unconscious part of our personality. It consists of all the traits, feelings, and desires that we suppress or reject because they don't fit our ideal self-image. Think about that feeling when you're ashamed of something you've done, or when you hide parts of your personality because society expects something different. That's the shadow. It's the dark, often hidden side of our psyche, and it carries the traits we fear to acknowledge. But here's the thing. The shadow is not inherently bad. In fact, it holds immense potential for growth. Before we dive deeper, let's ask ourselves, how many of us are living in denial? We project an image to the world, but deep inside, we hide parts of ourselves. This shadow exists not just in our thoughts, but in every choice we make, in every relationship we form, in the way we react to the world. Why does the shadow frighten us so much? We fear it because it's the unknown. It's what we've rejected, what doesn't fit the good version of ourselves that we show the world. But here's the truth. Every time we push it away, we're missing a crucial part of who we are. From a young age, we are conditioned to avoid certain emotions. Anger, repressed, jealousy, denied, vulnerability, hidden away. But when we suppress our shadow, we also suppress our power, our creativity, and even our potential for love and connection. Let's take a closer look at how society influences us to repress the shadow. Cultural norms, family values, and even the media shape our understanding of what's good and what's bad. We are taught to be perfect, but in striving for perfection, we push away the very traits that make us human. Psychologically speaking, the shadow contains both the parts of ourselves we are ashamed of and the aspects that, if explored, can lead us to greater personal freedom. To understand our shadow, we must acknowledge that it's not just about negativity. It's also about what we could become if we embraced our complete selves. As Jung explained, one does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious. This means that only by embracing our darkest aspects can we achieve true enlightenment. By acknowledging the shadow, we can integrate it into our conscious self. Studies have shown that individuals who refuse to confront their shadow may experience emotional disturbances, depression, anxiety, or even unexplained outbursts. These unresolved conflicts fester in the unconscious, bubbling up at unexpected moments. It's as if the shadow is a pressure cooker, waiting to burst open. How do we know when we're avoiding our shadow? Well, it's not always obvious. The shadow often shows up in sneaky ways, through projection, where we see traits in others that we dislike, or through unhealthy behaviors we can't explain. If you're constantly judging others, it might be your shadow speaking. If you feel an intense emotional reaction to someone's behavior, it could be a reflection of something within yourself that you haven't accepted. This is a sign that the shadow is in control. Confronting your shadow may sound daunting, but the rewards are transformative. By integrating the shadow into your conscious mind, you unlock your full potential. When we face our darkness, we become whole. We develop emotional intelligence, the ability to understand and navigate our feelings. We free ourselves from destructive patterns, and we gain control over our behavior. Imagine having the courage to face every part of yourself. The anger, the jealousy, the fear, the sadness, and embracing it. You would no longer be controlled by these hidden forces. You would move through life with a sense of clarity, peace, and power. The shadow is not just an individual concept. It also influences our relationships. When we fail to confront our own darkness, we project it onto others. We attract people who mirror our unresolved issues. Have you ever found yourself in toxic relationships, wondering why they keep repeating? It's not just bad luck, it's your shadow at play. By understanding your shadow, you can break free from these cycles. You can stop blaming others for your feelings and start taking responsibility for your reactions. This is the first step to healthier, more authentic relationships. Now that we've explored the importance of the shadow, let's talk about how to confront it. The path to integration begins with self-awareness. You must be willing to face the parts of yourself that you've long ignored. First, practice self-reflection. Spend time each day journaling your thoughts, feelings, and reactions. Ask yourself, what parts of me do I avoid? What emotions do I push away? What makes me uncomfortable about others? These are all gateways to the shadow. Second, embrace your emotional triggers. When something upsets you, dig deep. Why does it bother you so much? What is it reflecting back to you about your own hidden fears or insecurities? Finally, practice self-compassion. Understanding the shadow is not about judgment, but about acceptance. The more you accept yourself, flaws and all, the more you free yourself from the grip of the unconscious mind. Embracing the shadow is not an overnight journey. It's a lifelong process of self-discovery and growth. But as you embrace the dark side of your mind, you'll find that it brings you closer to your true self. You will shed the illusion of perfection and instead live authentically. And with that authenticity comes freedom. Freedom from the constraints of society's expectations. Freedom from the fear of being less than or imperfect. Remember this, the shadow is not your enemy, it's your teacher. It's through understanding it that you find your greatest strength. As we reach the end of this journey, I leave you with this. The shadow will always be a part of you, but it doesn't have to control you. In fact, the more you understand it, the more you can harness its power. Go ahead, face your darkness, embrace your shadow, and as you do, you'll discover the light that resides within you, waiting to shine through. Thank you for joining me on this deep dive into the dark side of your mind. Remember, true power comes from understanding and accepting every part of yourself.